Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Julia Volonc, and I am here presenting this morning with my co-presenter, Annet Sagál, on our project Create for Ukraine, which is the use of art therapy for social action. Thank you for having us here today, and we look forward to sharing our work. Just to go into how our presentation will be, I know we have about 20 minutes, so we organized it to have introductions, just so you can know a little bit more about myself and Annetta and how we met. Objectives for the presentation: what is social action art therapy? Then talk about the project, share the artwork from participants, then our outcomes and future outlooks that we hope to continue doing this work together. So I will introduce myself, and then I'll pass it over to Annetta to introduce herself. I'm a licensed and board certified art therapist in the US. I'm based in New York City right now, but also between Riga, Latvia, where I did a Fulbright in 2019. I'm also a dual citizen of Latvia and have a deep empathy and connection to Eastern Europe. And when the war broke out, I thought, what skills do I have in order to help? And I am an art therapist, so I thought about mental health support. And Annetta and I had met previously years earlier through collage, and she'll speak a little bit about her projects in Ukraine. And so I reached out to Annetta to ask if she wanted to collaborate on this project in order for us to raise funds for Ukrainian charities, as well as provide support and raise awareness on the war in Ukraine from a firsthand perspective outside of major media outlets. I'm also the founder of Art Therapy Lab, where we organize virtual and also on-site art therapy experiences to connect people from around the world through the shared experience of art making. So I will pass on, in the interest of time, to Annetta to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Annet Sagál. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I'm the founder of CUTOUT Collage art project, Kyiv Collage Collective, and we promote the art of collage, and we organize festivals. We promote Ukrainian collage artists, and this is how I entered art therapy realm, as I saw the therapeutic effect of collage. In one of the exhibitions and projects, I met Julia, who participated in them. And this idea of a new project appeared in 2022 after full-scale invasion, where our project was on pause and we were confused about our next steps. So Julia reached out and offered to do a fundraising campaign for those who are in need. Since then, we have done 2 workshops, and we are planning a third one, fundraising for Ukrainian, and then we also raised funds for Ukrainian animals project, and also for the defenders of Azovstal.
So our objectives for today with the presentation is we just want to provide a very brief overview of social action art therapy and its definition, and our goals with Create for Ukraine project collaboration. We'll example how Create for Ukraine utilizes social action methods in response to the Russian war against Ukraine. And then we'll discuss our outcomes, limitations, strengths, and future outlooks of the Create for Ukraine project. Okay. So Simply defined, social action art therapy is the integration of art therapy techniques with social activism to address socio-political issues and support healing through art-based interventions. The objective is to inspire social change, increase awareness of societal problems, and aid in the emotional processing of thoughts and experiences through art. There are lots of different ways that it can be used, but in art therapy, it's really about bringing the art out of the space and allowing people to have a voice through the creative process of art therapy and making it and being able to share and spread their thoughts, opinions, emotions within this visceral and visual way. And so with Create for Ukraine, again, having a previous relationship with Annetta prior to the war happening, when things started, I wanted to think about how I could be effective. And again, I thought about my skills and in my profession, and I wanted to create a workshop where people could create art around processing emotions associated. And this was open to people from around the world. Anybody could join. But also my main point too was I can't do this alone. Who am I to create this from a perspective as a US clinician, you know, to create a workshop that is going to be talking about Ukraine and the topics of war. So, and what was happening there. And so I contacted Annetta and I said, hey, do you want to do this together? And Annetta said yes. And what was really beautiful and extremely powerful is us working together is I had the skills to lead the workshop, and she really spoke about her firsthand experience of being displaced at the time with her family in Madrid, as well as there were several other artists and residents from Ukraine in the Kyiv Collage Collective or Cutout Art Project, also in the space, and were able to talk about their experiences. So our participants that came to the workshop were able to actually hear outside of their major news outlets. We had a lot of people more from like the US and Central Europe. So for them to really be able to witness firsthand and hear the stories of these Ukrainian artist community talk about what their experience was really powerful. It's a small scale fundraising initiative that we were testing out in April 2002 in response to the war. And it was provided and designed to raise funds. Originally for the first charity we did is our first funding we did was for Ukrainian Army. And since then we've done other social charities such as UA Animals, as well as we have one coming up soon to support families of current individuals in captivity. And Annetta can speak more to those organizations if you'd like. We wanted to increase awareness beyond the major media outlets, as explained, and then provide community support to process the shared emotions through art. So again, we opened it to all ages, adults from all ages, and around in total from both workshops that we've had so far, about 50 participants took part. Majority, again, resided in the US and Central Europe. And really what we asked was, we asked participants to write a reflective writing journal about, you know, their response, what was happening for them, how they were feeling, what's their perspective of war, and build their own connections to the concept of war and express solidarity for Ukraine. Something important to note is this was the first time myself as a clinician had ever done a workshop around political ideas. And so it was really important to hold this space for all participants and really make sure that, you know, we were coming from a non-biased and culturally competent perspective in being able to provide this experience. So it was definitely something very new for me as a clinician, that the outcome ended up, you know, being very powerful. And so I'm going to pass it on to Annetta to share how they really created the art, what we did after, and then she's going to share some of the participant artwork. So I'll pass it over to you, Annette.
Thank you.
So our workshop took place online, and it was organized in the way so that participants could combine the elements of discussion, of reflective writing, art making, and also creating processing of the emotions, of the feelings. So it was focused. Our workshop was focused on creating collage as a therapeutic tool, and it culminated in an online exhibition, which is now available. You can access it on Julia's website, Art Therapy Lab. The online exhibition featured the artwork created by the participants and was shared on social media platforms to reach a broader audience. And you can also visit our website. This is my artwork. It is called Cheerful, Clean and Clear, Dreams based on Maxim Rilsky sonnet. And this is related to all Ukraine victims of war, and some other artworks which were created during the workshop. Destruction, a horrifying scream, war in the world for political purpose, enough injustice. The spring, peace dawn on a new season, untitled community land, and all the participants reflected on the topic of war, and also the participants from Ukraine, which helped them release their emotions. Change the world mission, and here you can see an collage artist who created an artwork and also wrote about the occupation of Russia and how unfair it is. While I was creating this collage, Russia kept occupying Ukraine, and she expressed all her pain in this collage and used threads also in this artwork. You can see a few more examples. This artwork is called Gaslighting, the way Russia manipulates information and turns everything upside down in the media about the war in Ukraine.
Okay, so that was a sample of the artwork that was created during the workshops. Thank you, Annette, for speaking of them. So just to describe outcomes and future outlooks. So I will say that what we ended up doing is we created an online exhibition to feature the artwork and share on social media outlets. You can view all of the artwork here. And then we have the captions in a separate place. So I have to still compile and do that. Participants reported at the end of an increase in empathy, understanding, and support for Ukraine through connections with Ukrainians from Kyiv Collage Collective and hearing their stories firsthand. We were able to raise over €1,000 between both workshops. So again, it's more small scale. And then we future outlooks is we hope to continue this collaboration between Art Therapy Lab and Kyiv Collage Collective to build future initiatives. So right now, something that we have coming up next month is we're offering a class on mail art exchange. And we're going to be having participants create artwork for mothers and children and bringing it to in Ukraine from the organization that was mentioned earlier to be able to have a voice, raise some funds for Ukraine still, as well as be able to continue this initiative. It's something that we also hope the more that we work out the kinks and be able to understand how to best reach more people, and through the art and through the project that we're doing on our social platforms, for the Kyiv Collage Collective platform, the Art Therapy Lab platform, the CUTOUT platform, as well as people sharing it organically. We hope that this can potentially be a type of social action fundraiser that can be replicated, because I think it's really important to have these collaborations and be able to support one another and work together. And so working with Aneta, we've also done other projects together outside of just the Create for Ukraine. And it's been a very humbling and experience and a lot to learn. So I thank you for looking at here's some references. And here are our contacts. These are Instagrams as well as website, my email, the artwork that was created for the poster. So I appreciate you listening to our talk today, and I hope that you can take some knowledge away from it. And if you have any questions or want more details on what we did and how we did it and things like that, please do not hesitate to reach out. So thank you.
Дякую. Thank you.